Okay, so I'm live here on my music channel and talking about these song releases and video releases. Let me try to situate this so I look right here. That looks stupid here. Okay, it looks better. I don't want that tray. Here, let's go like that. Okay. All right, that looks better. How is that? Okay, so I have a video release that I'm doing, which is re-releasing the live version of Glass App performed by my old band Sullivan's Dog from the 90s. This was 94. I'm pretty sure. Um, don't quote me on that, but so it's been 30 years basically. And so this is premiered or scheduled to premiere on Tuesday, 7 p.m. basically. Glass Lap live at the warehouse, La Crosse, Wisconsin, from La Crosse, Wisconsin. I was a mere sophomore in high school. Okay, I helped write this song. I wrote the majority of the song, the chords, and the melody, and the work, most of it. And Buddy Dan and Scott helped me. So here's the thing in the matter, like that I wanted to say is, um, Leve, the jazz singer, is making it sound right. She's making her old stuff sound better. She's making it sound right because she's jazz, basically. Now I know there's arguments going on relevant to that, but to make a long story short, yes, her emphasis on like sound quality and stuff and quality like harmony and jazz harmony is what is making it look and sound better. So I withheld this video for a long time because like how my face looks with this until like get some light on it. I had the right lighting here, so I look all shadowy. Sorry, but um yeah, the emphasis on harmony and jazz harmony and stuff is making her old stuff sound and look right. I withheld the video for a long time because it doesn't jive with people. I guess it didn't do that well and it didn't jive. But with an artist like that out who's touring now and put out some good material, um, with someone doing that, it's taking people by the hand so that they have the necessary background listening to jazz harmony to understand what we were doing or what our songs were trying to mean. Because Glass Lab, for example, has dominant seventh chords primarily as the harmony, but it requires a prior understanding to really get what it was we were after. You can't just hear that fresh and be expected to understand what you're doing. You see, a lot of us, like the members of our group, we met in jazz band class, basically. That's where I met Scott, our drummer. I met him in jazz band in high school. So he's just a great jazz drummer, too. And that's where we first met. I was just a freshman in high school. That's where I met Scott, and Scott wanted to start playing, have a rock band on the side. So anyway, Leve's tour is making us sound right. It's just been like a long time before. It's just been a long time before someone ever did that like her. So now I'm looking at it. When I watch the video, this particular video again, um, the live version of Glass Lab, it looks and sounds way better from her. Because first of all, it opens up and you see this drummer, Scott, and he has his rototom set up, and it's just this guy in the back of the room drumming. We don't know, like, and most people will not know him or what his credentials in life are for being a musician or anything. He happens to be a member of a different group now, obviously, but it's just some guy drumming, and then there's us up front. Um, just as it is with Leve's tour, for example, like she has drummers and people back, and no one in particular has to care like who the drummer is or whatever because she's the one up front like making it work. She's the main like. I guess. I mean, someone else. There's been other, obviously, other like singer songwriters with a good name. Um, and the group goes by their name, and they have a drummer that no one knows. But right now, it's making us look really good. So I'm re-putting it out, or I'm putting it out again because now when I hear it, it sounds different from all that. It sounds and looks different. And Scott's performance, obviously, on drums there. video is very impeccable. It sounds very intentionally, highly like nuanced, um, and artistic. Like he the amount of care he put in to sounding good is quite notable. So, but the subtlety and nuance, um, particular to the jazz idiom there that Scott is doing, brought into the rock, scene. It would take people who already know or listen to some jazz to get that part of it. So now when I hear it after Leve, it's all like pretty cool. So that's why that's why I'm bringing that out again. Okay, since I'm on here, I may as well tell the story of how we wrote that song. Um, this was around New Year's Eve, 1993. It was particularly actually on New Year's Eve, 93 going into 94. And I just thought of this guitar riff. It was those chords that have open strings. It's a clever voicing of 7 chords that have open strings. It seems to change from E7 to D7, and then goes up high on D7 of sorts. I think it is. Um, and so when I jammed with Scott, the next time we jammed, it must have been 94 January, and Scott liked to video record our rehearsals. Um, so we played it without any words or vocals. I think Scott and I, and he video recorded it. I forgot that we ever practiced. I forgot that we did it. And he kept bugging me like, "Dave, what about that song like you played? Do you remember like the chords? Can we play it again?" And I was like, I don't remember. I don't remember that. I didn't. I forgot about it after a while. He kept bugging me and bugging me. We couldn't believe each other because he seemed to think there's this song that I'd forgotten, and I didn't think there was any such song. So he took out the video tape. Back then we had VHS tapes. Put in the VCR and showed it to me. Showed me what I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, that thing. That's the thing I came up with on New Year's. It's those chords that are the open chords, um, and it's all like a unique voicing. So we did it again. Came up with more. Um, I had written I had penned the lyrics some at a certain point. I don't know when or whatever. It's me on the first verse. I wrote the lyrics to the first verse, and Dan wrote the second. So I wrote the verse that starts, "I caught my mother's flu, sadly broken over you. Strings and wheels catch my eye, um, wasted and broken, red I lie." But the original said like, where can I find the cold and naked fly, which implies like, where can I find the fly that carried the flu upon it that got to me or whatever. um, so that was changed to where can I find what we change it to? Something like, where's what I want to find? Where is what I want to find? Is what we changed it to. And then I think Dan wrote the second verse says, notion I derive from you. Sadly, I reside here too, sainthood casually denied, wasted and broken, red I lie. And then Dan wanted the melody, so I came up with the melody for it as well, the singing melody, the vocal melody. But I think Alice in Chains was like my inspiration. Lane Staley, it's a Lane Staley type melody in the verses. so so the chorus, another day, another dream. I think that's me. And then the ending, we added like instrumental ending that was really cool. But the drumming beginning when Scott hits the cymbal, um, to me now that sounds like someone saying toodle-oo. They're saying toodle-oo to their past lover and saying hello to a new person. So toodle-oo, and then we begin a new thing. Um, so that's about that. I think people have wondered about the name of our group as well. Um, it's not trying to say that any of us are someone's bitch. It's basically a story about our friend and his dog. His dog wandered away from the family's house, and in the middle of winter, fell through the ice of a lake. I think that's what was it, Lake Onalaska or something. The dog fell through the ice of the lake, and a rescue team went out to rescue the dog from the ice, and they're wearing Gore-Tex or spandex black slick suits to withstand the cold, and they jumped into the water to retrieve the dog from freezing cold water. The newspapers got a picture of it and everything. Um, And so I was like sitting in gym class one day and realized the allegorical or whatever nature of the story is some kind of example for life. If you wander too far away from home or something, you're gonna fall through the ice. Um, but anyway, enough about that. So that's more like along the lines of what we meant, like in context that made more sense to like our audience, um, probably than now, because it's way outside of context. The whole world can see it. So um, anyway, the second item here, matter of business. I have a worldwide song release like on digital streaming channels on the same day, Tuesday. It's going to be, I think it's going to be officially noon, probably Tuesday, May 7th. Um, and it's noon. That's also from the song output of us, from Dan and I. But and Sullivan's Dog played that song as well, but there's no live recording that I have that survived everything. However, like I read on the song under my name since I wrote the lyrics and the chords and stuff. Um, let me get out the so anyway, yeah, Noon is the song, and it's gonna be Tuesday, and that's on Spotify and stuff and everything, Apple Music and so forth. Um, this book you can get on Amazon. It has some of my old song lyrics, and so I myself as well. David, I myself as well, and it has a lot of my old songs and poems in it. It's a nice like astronomy constellations in front. But this has one of the original lyric sheets of Half Past Noon when when we wrote the song itself back then, 1992, as my explanation right there. But yeah, so you can buy this on Amazon. And so 1992, we were in eighth grade. We had just like eighth going to ninth grade. We had just had confirmation class. So I think like, our knowledge of God increased that year. And that's what probably contributed to being able to do anything good whatsoever. But I was looking this over. There's some interesting clues like right on this page. And so the words were me. I pretty much remember that very clearly. I wrote it in study hall probably. And the drawing up here was me, but singer Dan rewrote the words in his penmanship right here. So I don't know why I did the heading and he did that. I think we were just wasting time one day. But it has some extra words that weren't included in the music. But I found several clues right on this page that are really interesting about Half Past Noon. And by the way, the sailor mentioned when it says, let's say, Half Past Noon, the sailor told me, that's the main chorus. Half past noon, the sailor told me, when we woke, we found the holy. That's myself. The sailor of the song I now understand to be like a former female student of mine who is actually a Navy officer. She's an officer in the U.S. military, in the Navy at this point. So the sailor's not a guy with me. The sailor's a woman. Half past noon when the sailor told me they were still in school, probably, and had a conversation with this person where they were very candid with me. So no harm, no foul. Everything's good, but the scroll is a real thing with me too. The scroll mentioned is also a real thing. It has to do with the name of God. It's a scroll that had the name of God in it. And I happen to think you watch the moon and dawn waiting could relate to like the recent phenomenon of the eclipse and stuff that happened, and all this coinciding, a bunch of events coinciding with the song release. Actually, it's interesting to notice that. But one of the clues here I found on this page is that when it says, watch me die, arms of flailing, sunk in hatred, wrapped in mailing, and hatred, you can see Dan actually had to write over several letters. It's like the way a person would force a word out. If they can't even believe what they have to say, they have to extra force the word through. because it's too hard to believe what's being said. I take from this that Dan couldn't even believe that anyone would hate me that much, and that's why it looks forced through written over, because it's too hard to accept what it is that I was saying. And where else on here did I want to talk about things? There's another one like that where here, right here. I don't know if anyone cares about it. But yeah, the peace and love you never love me. That's another. The peace and love you never love me is run together. Um, it's run together. So that's another one that stumbled Dan when he copied the words through. He couldn't believe that someone never loved me. Probably. Very interesting stuff here. And then the top drawing has a lot in it I didn't notice. So this right here, it looks like it has the TikTok symbol from 1992, like beneath the clock. That's really weird. And then the clock looks like it has. If you one looks really close at this, you could buy it in the book and see it. It says Jah right there. It says God's name, Yah or Jah right there. It has seven. It has seven dots on this side and three on that side. So seven going halfway around and three right here. So the number of completion is seven and the number of love is three. And then God's name, Yah, in the other corner of it. And where it says noon, basically, if I turn this a certain direction, it looks like it says 2002, in which case my life had certain like very distressing events in it in 2002 as well. Interesting foreshadowing from 1992, don't you think so? Don't you think so? No, when this song says watch me die, arms a flailing, sunken hatred wrapped in mailing. I don't even know what I'm saying. I think I don't want to get like too complicated in this talk. I don't think that should be interpreted as that I really think I'm gonna die from something here. I mean, men in general have the death that normally happens to them or whatever. Naturally speaking, because no one lives forever on this side. So that's one way I suppose to look at it. But this lyric sheet has several very interesting things. And then in this book, there's a typed version as well. It makes the book worth something here. And the revised chorus. See, we originally only had just the one chorus, half past noon, the sailor told me, etc., etc. And people weren't understanding like what we were saying because it was talking about a future event, obviously. So the guys were telling me like write a new chorus to the song because it doesn't make sense to people yet. So I sat there in Dan's basement one day after school and we worked on it. So I said, what if you say, oh God, it's your son again, okay? Like you're afraid of God. Oh God, it's your son again. Watch me die and hold my hand. Oh man, where are you going? Stranger things will happen now. Okay, that was the chorus. And this dates back to 92. But I've always wondered if that series Stranger Things ripped us off. I don't, right there, or here it is. I don't know that, but yeah, who knows? Seriously. There's some other good stuff in this book too. But anyway, is there anything I didn't talk about? Okay, I talked about the grand majority. So Tuesday, both things. Tuesday, 7 p.m. is the live video. The light got better in here somehow. I don't even know. Tuesday, 7 p.m. is like the live video Glass Lab, Sullivan's Dog, and that performance is, I think it's 1994. That must be May or something, or June 94. Just after the song was written. Somewhere out there's a video also of our Sunfish Days performance. I think like that's the one where I hurt my neck. I had my head to the side, so I never probably saved like video because I look stupid in it, So I look stupid in it. Same day, Tuesday, May 7th is the half past noon song release, all digital streams worldwide, channels worldwide. So look on Spotify and stuff. Look at all the iTunes crap and whatever, Deezer, whatever people look at these days. You know, it's on that. So okay, and like I said, like yeah, Leve and her tour is making it sound better because of the jazz understanding increased with the public. It's what happened basically. Thank you for listening to me.